Hello. Due to the immense, just avalanche of interest in that keyboard on my desk from one, two, maybe three people, I've decided to make this little video and tell what I'm doing with this keyboard, because saying that I'm learning courtroom stenography isn't really that informative. So what I'd like to show you is up here in the upper right hand corner. You see the keyboard. You kind of recognize this, how it's got the weird shapes and it's split in half by this thing. And there's colors on this and there aren't colors on the one at work. It's just black keys like you see down here. But you can kind of recognize this is the keyboard. What you can't see on my desk is this magical string of characters. Because this string of characters is the foundation of courtroom stenography. It was carefully designed by people who did a major analysis of the English language. They found out that S is most likely to be found at the beginning of a word and at the end of a word. They found out that D is likely to show up after that last. It's at the end too. So T is likely to follow S. H is likely to follow S. And so they created this magical thing where these letters show up in the most likely to be used order. WH, very common. R, it's used in a couple different ways, but it often starts words. Then you have vowels. So you've got a consonant beginning, then you have vowels, then you have finishing consonants. Well, if you have a finishing consonant, an F is usually toward the beginning of your finishing consonant. An R might be in there, a P or B or an L or G, and things are likely to end with S or D. The Z is at the very end for specific reasons that they came up with that all make sense after you know what they're talking about. And each of these letters is also tied to one of these keys. The pound sign is tied to this big long number bar up top. The S key is the same color as this. The T and the K. Here's your T, here's your K. The P and the W are orange, P and W. H and R are purple, and you'll find that the purple ones here are for your index fingers. The middle ones or the orange ones are for your middle finger, the green one for your ring finger on both sides, and the pink is for your little finger, your pinky. And you'll see that the right pinky finger is very busy. It hits up to 4 keys, whereas your left pinky only hits this one key. Your ring finger might hit any one of the two, or two at the same time. And the vowels are handled by your thumbs. So your left fingers handle the leading consonants, your thumbs handle the vowels, and then your right fingers handle the trailing consonants. And you can make an amazing number of words this way. If we're going to start, right, then we're going to say start. To do that, I hit the S, the T, the A, the R, and the T. You'll notice that steno order, that's what these letters are, in order, S, T, A, R, and T, all light up, and that makes perfect sense. So now I can say that we've started, and you'll see that the word started shows up. I only hit the keyboard once. I hit all 6 letters at one time, and it actually output 7 letters. It knew that I needed that E in there, so it just threw an E in. When I said start and then added a D to it, it added an ED. And that's the magic of steno. Is if you can make it work in steno order here, then you can hit all the keys in one stroke, and the time it took me to hit one letter before, I've hit an entire word. That's what we're looking for. So I don't know why, but say you wanted to stop, you can hit S-T-O-P. I don't want to stop, but we'll just type it. And then we can say we've stopped by putting a D on the end. And there's really a lot of words that you can do without getting it all fancy. I can do just a tad, or I can say that I've kept things going, or I can do it in prod. You can do some slightly more complex stuff. You can wobble. So to hit wobble, I hit the W, I hit the O, I hit the B, and I hit the L. Now, you'll notice that created 6 letters, even though I only hit 4. Steno is very much about the sound and not about the spelling. It has the spelling in its own dictionary. So you create the sound, it spells it correctly for you. Of course, I don't probably even need to show you that I can have wobbled by just adding a D to the end. We can do has, read. Now, I said that R usually is one of the last things that shows up as a consonant, but what about things like recharge and renew and all those kind of things? Let's do redo. To do that, it's actually two syllables, right? Redo. So I'm going to hit re, and then I'm going to hit the T and the K together, which is how you make a D sound in steno. You combine letters to create other words. So the T and the D together, you memorize that's a D. So I hit D-O, and that becomes redo. But you can combine S, H, and E and L to create shell. All these words are sitting there in the magical steno string. They call that the steno order. And by combining them all at one time, you can make complex words. There's no end to what steno can create. I'm going to give you one little example. When I'm logged on to a Linux computer, I'll often run the program VI, which a V is made by hitting the S and the R, and then when you combine all four vowels together, that creates the long I sound. So I call that, that's how I spell VI. And then if I combine conf, C, which is actually the K, and the AU makes an aw sound, and an N and an F, I can load up, I hit the E in there and I didn't mean to, I can load up with one stroke the entire path to an Apache conf file. So you're able to take these strings, I combined the K, the A, and the U, and then the F, the P, and the B makes an N sound, and then T, because it's V hosts, so I grabbed hold of that T. And I just memorized that. That's my little personal thing. So you can take steno, combine it with your own personal knowledge and your own personal needs, using the free Plover program, and begin your path toward typing at 200 words per minute and taking advantage of your own personal shortcuts, all on this little keyboard with just 23 keys. So it's been a long journey for me. I've been at this for almost 2 years now. I'm not going to try to demo that I can now type 70 to 100 words per minute, depending how well I've got those words pressed into my muscle memory. But I do. Most of you have seen me type on instant messaging, and you know I can keep up with an average chat. And this is how I do it. This is how you take 23 keys and make almost anything show up. There's a lot to learn. I have to give total thanks to Ted Morin and Benoit Père. I don't speak French, so I know I slaughtered at least Benoit's name. But they built everything that I'm using now, and it's just been a load of fun to sit here and start learning how to type by word instead of by letter, and to really begin cranking out some long text more quickly than I ever could in QWERTY using a standard keyboard. So that's what I'm doing. That's why I think it's fun. If you want to take a look at it, you know where to find me. I'll for sure send you a link. Talk to you later.